Today is Friday, November 21st, 2025. Welcome to This Week in Natural Refrigerants News, where we recap the top stories on naturalrefrigerants.com. This podcast is generated and read by artificial intelligence and may contain pronunciation errors. We're your hosts, A.T.
and MO. And the articles for today's podcast were organized by naturalrefrigerants.com's managing editor and written by its writers. You can find links to each article in the show notes.
And it was quite a week. We saw some major policy hurdles, but also some really smart safety advances in mobile AC.
And on the other end of the spectrum, some huge industrial and district energy projects using naturals. So a lot to cover.
Okay, let's start in Europe. There's a German contractor, KKL, and they have a really interesting take on the potential EU PFAS regulation.
Right. Instead of seeing it as a threat, they're actually framing it as an opportunity to push harder on the switch to natural refrigerants.
And it seems like they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're not just talking about it.
Not at all. I mean, they have a long history here. They've already equipped facilities like data centers entirely with propane solutions. But the really forward-looking move is that they've joined Blue Unit.
That's the alliance of contractors, right?
Exactly. It's about 24 of them, all pooling their expertise on natural refrigerants. And they're tackling the training issue head-on with an academy.
Which, addresses that big industry concern about finding skilled labor for this transition.
It's proactive. That's the key.
So from a proactive contractor, let's switch gears to a global policy roadblock. I'm talking about MOP 37 in Nairobi.
Yes, the 37th meeting of the parties. There was a proposal from the EU and Switzerland to get a handle on emissions from feedstocks.
Things like HCFC-22 and carbon tetrachloride that are used to make HFOs. But it was blocked.
It was. And the real sticking point was data transparency. The proposal wanted more data sharing and regular reporting from the TP, the technical panel.
And the opposition came from Saudi Arabia, India.
And the U.S. and Australia also blocked some key parts, specifically the ones about sharing emissions data.
Which is just staggering when you look at the numbers. These feedstock emissions were estimated as high as 146 million metric tons of CO2e.
Back in 2019, yeah.
So blocking the experts from even reporting on the emissions from making the new refrigerants, that's a major step backwards.
It really is.
Okay, let's move from policy to innovation. Aurora, Netherlands has a new R290 heat pump for electric buses.
And they developed it with TÜV Süd, focusing very heavily on safety.
Which is always the big question with propane in vehicles. So how do they solve it?
Well, they took a really clever, self-contained approach. Instead of complex ventilation, the whole system is in a sealed, ATEX-proof compartment.
The ATEX-proof, so it's certified for explosive atmospheres.
Exactly. It holds about 1,250 grams of R290, and there's an infrared sensor inside. If it detects any leak at all, the system just shuts down completely.
And needs a technician to manually reset it.
That's right. No automatic restart. And it's already proven in the field. They've sold 165 systems since last August.
It's a very robust solution. Now let's talk about industrial. Hill Phoenix just launched their Advancer Ultra.
Yes, their first industrial transcritical CO2 rack platform. And it's a big one with capacities up to 450 tons of refrigeration per rack.
So this is a pretty clear signal that CO2 is moving up the ladder, challenging ammonia.
It is, especially in small to medium cold storage facilities and definitely in more urban areas.
And the business case is all about the total cost of ownership, right?
Absolutely. With CO2, you have far fewer of the strict safety oversight rules you get with large ammonia charges, which simplifies things a lot.
All right, finally, let's go from industrial to, massive scale. The Vicinity Energy Project in the Boston area.
This is a huge one, a massive ammonia heat pump for district heating.
What kind of scale are we talking about here?
It's a 35-megawatt steam heat pump made by Everlance. And the key thing is it can deliver really high-pressure steam over 300 degrees Celsius.
And it's using the Charles River as the heat source.
Yes. And it plugs right into Vicinity's existing 29 miles of underground steam pipes.
So it's decarbonizing over 70 million square feet of building space. That's how you retrofit a whole city core.
It really is an incredible project. What an eventful week, from policy fights to city-scale solutions.
It is AT and MO.
And this has been the week in natural refrigerant news.